has kind of been a persistent issue for you guys much of the season?
It's just mindfulness. I mean, we're trying to sometimes be a little too aggressive, which I don't think we mind at all. I don't mind, but got to know time and score, got to know how the flow of the game is. I think early it was kind of just a lack of chemistry in terms of five guys being on the string and being connected, and that's to be expected with, a new group of guys. But, some of them, we just got to be smarter. There's not really a reason or an excuse. It's just you got to be smarter. Jumping on pump fakes, me getting caught up at half court with 5 seconds left in the second quarter. The early fouls in quarters that then change the way you can be aggressive throughout the quarter because you're getting closer and closer to being in the penalty. So overall, there's not really a consistent pattern. It's just bad fouling, and you gotta fix it.
Do you think that has anything to do with pressing, given where you guys are in the standings in this playoff race?
The fouling, you said?
Yeah, the fouling.
No, it's just sometimes a lack of discipline, but sometimes it just kind of is what it is. You have to change it. I don't know if we can put a headliner on this is why we're fouling. It's just got to stop doing it.
Steph, you've obviously played through a lot of injuries in your career. How does the pain level involved with this tailbone injury compared to other injuries you played with in the past?
That's kind of hard to say. Just they're all different. And when you're out there, whatever the injury is or playing quote unquote hurt, it's not anything you really try to think about when you're out there. This one just lingers and it's going to be there, but as long as I can be functional, make the moves that I want to do, whatever I feel like, try to put it in the back of your mind and just try not to land on it. I haven't done a great job of that the last 2 games.
You expect to play tomorrow?
Got to see how I feel when I wake up. This is an injury where, I guess, from whatever we played the day, Monday to Tuesday, it was a tough day after game kind of feeling. I'm hopefully progressing where I'll wake up and feel good and know what I'm dealing with to be able to play, but we'll monitor that right now.
Stephen, given all the high points you've had in your career, what are the hardest things to cope with in this season where you guys had some expectations and, you still can't seem to get much above 500?
I think it's the inconsistency of who we are as a team, but it's the different. There's not just one thing that you can highlight that has put us in that position. We talked about fouling. We talked about struggling to rebound. We talked about our defense being really good at times, mediocre at times, really bad. Offensively, we've had some bright spots. We haven't, found our bread and butter kind of lineup really that we can kind of rely on. There's a lot of growing pains going on right now, and the frustration is you haven't been able to sustain it for long enough where you form an identity around anything. So that's on us. That's on something. We got 24 games left. It's not something we can't figure out, but we got to get gritty at this point to find something that will get us over that hump that we've been talking about for majority of the season. And
No, any expectations? Oh, go ahead.
No,
go
it's just new territory, so we got to do it collectively.
And to say, knowing the expectations you have for yourself and for your team, how do you personally, though, how do you cope with this? How do you process what's been happening? I know it can't be easy.
No, but it's basketball. And like I said, you've been around this league long enough, you kind of experience everything. So You have to embrace it. I mean, it is frustrating, and it is, I guess, not what we expected, but kind of what we expected. Is weird. You just have to embrace it and understand the season's not dead. We got a lot to play for. You know, a lot can happen in 24 games leading to the playoffs, and be in a position where we can play our best basketball you know, down the stretch. I really, you know, feel like there's a lot left in the tank in that respect. So just got to go do it.
You mentioned, you know, not expecting kind of this season, but yeah, some, you know, particularly with Clay's injury, kind of expecting this grind. Has this been harder though than maybe you envisioned?
Nah. Winning is hard in general. Even when we were doing things in the past, like it's still hard work, and it's just you have, when you're winning, that cures a lot of the ups and downs of the emotional roller coaster of any season and things that you go through. So that's been the hardest part. We can't just gloss over things, knowing that you put 4 out of 5 together, or 8 out of 10. Like, we haven't obviously been there, so that's just the difference, and that's an emotional kind of burden that is hard to carry. But again, you have to embrace it. I know for me and Draymond, we've tried to be conscious of the development, but also the understanding that, you know, we have a lot of growing to do, and our leadership needs to be consistent in that respect. And nobody's got time to sulk. Just go out and hoop, be confident, try to figure it out. And, you know, at the end of the season, hopefully we have something to show for it.
Steph, how was Miami's defense swarming on you guys tonight?
They have a lot of length, and they've been in playoff type experiences recently where they can know how to grind out a game, and you know, that's what they kind of did, you know, first 6 minutes or so. But then we withstood it and made a run, took the lead in the first quarter. But got a lot of veterans out there that, you know, and a lot of chemistry. They know how to, you know, play in a game of runs like that, and it showed. They're obviously physical, but we did enough to obviously make it interesting, especially in the second half. Just ran out of gas.
Steph, what does a guy like Vic do?
Go ahead. Last question for Steph.
Steph, what does a guy like Vic do for a team that, you know, has a pretty good defensive foundation in place even without him? What does he add to that mix?
He's talented on both ends of the floor. I'm sure he'll develop some more chemistry, but it gives him another, you know, presence defensively. It gives him another scoring option, you know, when he gets his legs underneath him. It's a good pickup for a good team. Obviously, defending Eastern Conference champs, they got better, and I'm sure he'll enjoy his time here playing with the guys he gets to play with.